Welcome back to episode five. Yeah, we'll go with five of the Rozay audio experience. Today, I am joined here with CRL caster Rich Slaton. Rich, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are, what you're about.
That is my name, what he said. My name is Rich Slaton. I'm the caster, or one of the casters for Clash Royale League. I'm a comedian. Been doing that for 10 years. I'm a dad. Been doing that for 15 months. And I'm a dude. I've been doing that for a few decades. So there you go. That's about it.
Been duding it up. All right. So before we started the official podcast recording here, all you listeners and watchers, we were talking for about 25 minutes, and I didn't know basically any of that. I knew that he was a CRL caster, and that's the extent of my knowledge here. So everyone listening, we're all starting from square one here, getting to know Rich, see what's going on in his world. So that just so we're all on the same page there. So why don't we start with the connecting point that brought us here together in the first place is obviously Clash. That's your main gig. That's how I think that's how I know you, obviously, and I think that's how most people that are gonna be listening to this know you. So how did you did you just want to talk about what your role is, how you initially got started with that?
I mean, do you want the short version or the long version?
Dude, this is your stage.
Let's see. Well, I've been a stand-up comic since 2008. I started in March of 2008, and I was doing UFC jokes back then, but they weren't working on stage because no one really watched the UFC in 2008. There were 45,000 viewers or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I started a Twitter account, MMA Comic, to make UFC jokes, which landed me a job writing comedy articles about the UFC for a website in Britain, which led to me starting my own MMA, SoCal MMA news website for fights here in Southern California, which led to me becoming a play-by-play commentator for mixed martial arts for 7 years. And if you follow the UFC, for example, I called the first 4 fights for Dominic Reyes as an amateur, who's now going to be fighting for the light heavyweight title against John Jones. And
this means nothing to me, but I'm sure this means something to somebody. I know John Jones. Yeah. John, he's the guy that some people don't like, Bones Jones or something like that. He's a controversial guy.
He's the guy who's the best fighter in the history of mixed martial arts, who also has some problems. So.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, he likes to party. Got it.
Yeah, he likes to party quite a bit and drive while he's partying.
Oh yeah, so I can't do both at the same time.
Long story boring. A year and a half ago, I was still working at the Comedy Store. I've been a stand-up for a long time, and I was working the door there. It's sort of, we'll get into that more later, I guess, but the Comedy Store door guy system is sort of the only internship / comedy fraternity, sort of, if you want to put it that way. Ari a nutcase, shut up, boom.
You're good, because Discord's fucking up right now too, so you're glitching. So this is just welcome to the podcast, everybody. Technical issues and dogs are barking. This is raw and uncut.
There's lawnmowers.
The production value here is 0, but that's okay because you guys are getting it all. Everything I'm hearing, you guys are hearing it. I'm not going to edit this out too. This is just uncut, raw, adult, male, online entertaining action. Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
That's right, man. Whatchamacallit. And so I was working the door at the Comedy Store for 4 years, parking cars, taking tickets in exchange for minimum wage and stage time. I was on lineups with Joe Rogan, David Spade, Bobby Lee, big name comics, as the warm-up act or whatever. And then about a year and a half ago, a buddy of mine saw the casting call for the CRL commentator job, because they put out an open casting call. Not everyone knows about that, but it was even in the app, I think, at one point. And he said, dude, you play Clash Royale, you're a play-by-play, the description says, play Clash Royale, have sports broadcasting experience, and have comedy experience. And I was like, check. So it was a bunch of video submissions. And I remember for the first round of them, I recorded the submissions at the beginning, middle, and end of my shift at the Comedy Store one night, wearing my logo Comedy Store t-shirt. And then I kept on going through the process, and eventually got to the final audition, and it was myself and Andrew and a few other people in the final audition. And I went in there for the first read, and they had me do color commentary, which is the expert. For the people who don't know how commentary teams work, play-by-play is the verbal conductor or host of the broadcast. Hi, welcome to Clash Royale League. I'm Rich Slaton. Joining me is Andrew Guy. Let's get into this next thing. Whereas color commentary is the expert analysis person. So they had me audition for the first time for the live final as an expert analysis person with Andrew as play-by-play. And everyone thought it was good, but me, I thought it sucked. I was like, this was bad, dude. And I'm out in the hallway of the audition, like believing that I've got this far, I'm about to lose this great, amazing job. And a friend of mine's voice was in my head who said, closed mouths don't get fed. So when it's really damn good advice. So the cast director comes out and I go, hey man, I am a professional play-by-play commentator. I've been doing play-by-play for 7 years. I'm not an expert. We just saw that I'm not an expert. Let me come back in for play-by-play. And he said, yeah. So we went back in, Andrew and I switched. And I'm telling you right now, dude, that audition was like Monday Night Football level play-by-play and color commentary. Like Andrew and I clicked right out the gate. And I called my wife after. I was like, if I don't get this job, it's not because of me. It's because they want something different than what I am.
Right. And so you gave your A+ game on that one edition.
That was the best. That was the best commentary I've ever done. That audition. That's what that landed me. They auditioned about 7,000 people, and
holy shit!
Me and
So how long was each? That's like a lot of people. So like, what is each audition like? A 2-minute? Hey, read this kind of.
Well, no,
simulation?
It was 3 rounds. It was the first 2 rounds were taped submissions, and then
right.
And then the last round was live.
So how many people made it to like the live, like the final round? 4
people live in the room, and 4 people auditioned online. Like did it because they were from out of town.
Damn! So they went through almost 7,000 online and narrowed it down to 8. That is crazy.
Yeah. And picked me and changed my life.
Yeah, goddamn. So you think you'd still be doing the same thing you were before at the comedy club if you hadn't nailed this?
It's a weird question. I don't know, because like obviously now I have my son, which changes like how you spend your time. Like I was there at the club every night until 2 a.m, right? Like it's very different. You have a baby. And also like in the last year, a bunch of my peers kind of got small to medium to big breaks. So this year in particular, a bunch of comics from I guess you call it your class, like the guys you kind of came up with, all got on TV for the first time this year. Like Comedy Central or like got a special on Netflix or like that kind of stuff. Or their first late night spot. So who knows? Like it's been 1.5 years since I was doing that. I might be on a writing staff on a TV job right now, or touring more, or I could still be right where I was. Who knows?
Yeah, but like okay. That makes total sense. So you didn't have like a like another plan or like a direction or whatever. This kind of just happened, and you know what I mean. So like you probably had this not happened, it's not like you were pursuing something in the complete opposite direction, then you changed paths, right? So it's hard to say. I get. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, like the 4 things I've always really been doing are comedy, like just doing straight up stand up, which is what I'm best at, by the way. Like by far what I'm best at.
See, I feel like that's awesome, but at the same time, I feel like, and I'm not going to do this to you unless you want me to, but I feel like when you say you're a comedian or like a stand up comic, someone will be like, tell me a joke, or like that kind of shit.
Pay the 2-drink minimum and the cover charge, then I'll tell you the joke.
See, you got the response ready, because I'm sure you've been asked that at least 500 billion times.
Yeah.
So that's just your go-to. Have you ever, like, I'm guessing in the early stages, someone would ask you, tell me a joke, and you'd probably like try.
You make a mistake when you're early on. You're like, I'm funny, but it's a whole different. It's a different environment when you're on stage in a actual room. Like there's an artifice that's designed for you to be. They're there to laugh. They're drinking. You're in front. You have a microphone. Like there's all these different things that make it function.
Right.
Like, you know what works one-on-one is a street joke. Street jokes, like a guy walks into a bar and whatever. That kind of stuff works really well one-on-one because it's designed that way. Right. Those street jokes don't work really well in stand-up comedy because they're antithetical to the idea of sort of that back and forth with the crowd. And the same reason why a good stand-up bit might not work at all. Just like if you say, tell me a joke, and I tell you one of my bits, you're like, I see how that could be funny, I guess. I'm uncomfortable now.
Right, but the environment is not appropriate for it. If that
no, okay. There's something about putting together. Like the laughter is a shared experience. Like think of it. You watch like a funny movie by yourself. You almost never laugh. You watch it with a bunch of your friends or in the movie theater, and you're dying. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. That's interesting. So okay, so you said, and then you said you opened for like Joe Rogan and shit too. Is this like before they blew up? Like,
hold on, I lost all of that audio.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you guys are listening to the podcast right now, Discord, which was what we use for the audio, is absolutely a bunch of bitches, and their free service sucks. Well, it's good 95% of the time, but it cuts out randomly, and we don't know when it's cutting out. So okay, like I said, unedited. If there's ever a blank spot, just chat, deal with it. Okay. So anywho, so Joe Rogan, before he blew up, because he's massive now, I think he's gonna sign like an exclusive like $100 million deal with like because his podcast, you know. So I think he's gonna sign like an exclusive big boy deal to have an exclusive podcast on some platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. I think he's gonna.
I'll tell you right now, I don't ever see that happen.
Why is that?
Because he doesn't need them, dude. He doesn't.
Yeah, but I mean, someone waves $100 million in front of you.
He doesn't. Yes, but when you already have fuck you money, you don't have to take someone else's I'm gonna fuck you money. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's the big difference. Like Joe Rogan, like I have a lot of personal experience with Joe Rogan because he's a Comedy Store comic. Like there are weeks where like I got by on my bills based on Joe Rogan tips. He's a really generous guy. Think about his revenue streams, right? Joe Rogan has the podcast, which the numbers he makes, like that earns an insane amount of money with the kind of like with the millions of downloads per episodes that he gets, plus the YouTube stuff. The amount of money he pulls in from that is astronomical.
Like, and really he does pre-rolls. He does podcast pre-rolls now. So the first like 5 to 6 minutes of every podcast, I think it's like 5 to 10 minutes actually. He's just reading shit, just ads. And I don't even want to know how much he gets paid for that. But like, he's doing fine on the money. Yes, I'm sure you're right.
So he has that revenue stream, right? Then he has his revenue stream from the UFC, which I don't know if he had options because he's been with the UFC since '97. But when the UFC sold for $4 billion, I'm sure he got paid a little bit, nice little cash out of that. Then on top of that, you have the revenue he makes from selling out theaters across the country, like 3,000 seat venues at $35 a pop. So he sells those out on tour across the country. And then on top of that, he still has residuals from Fear Factor, which went into international syndication, not to mention News Radio, which was also another an NBC sitcom syndication. So the reason I put all that together is you get to the question of what is my freedom worth, right? And this is a question a lot of comics talk about. What is my freedom worth? And Joe Rogan's gotten to a point where he says no to almost everything. He says no to movies, says no to most TV, because he's like, I don't want you to tie me down with some golden handcuffs because I already got enough gold already. So you might be right. He might take some crazy mixer deal or whatever. He might pull a ninja. But I think that he values his complete freedom and autonomy more than he values a little extra money when he's already got so much money he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's a valid point. That's 100% right. I mean, who knows? We'll see. But the point, yeah, okay. I knew that, but you explained it very well. So it totally makes sense now. And on the spot, I can't really like play the devil's advocate here and bounce back and forth with you because that makes way more sense than anything I had prepared. I just think that his podcast is fucking phenomenal, and he could do the exact same thing. And just instead of posting it on all the platforms, he posts it on one platform and gets paid a shit ton of money. So to me, you know, but I mean, if that's his mindset, obviously, if you've had experience with him and know that kind of, you know, that would make a lot of sense too.
The reach for a comic, the reach is worth more than the dollar value, right? So like Ari Shaffir, I don't know if you know who he is. He's part of like the Joe Rogan universe of comedians. Mm-hmm. He had a show on Comedy Central called This Is Not Happening, a comedian storyteller show that he had built from himself, from hosting it as like a local comedy night in LA, all the way to a web series, all the way to being a real show on Comedy Central. And he had in front of him, when he was doing his last special, he had a choice, like Viacom, which owns Comedy Central, wanted him to do their special on Comedy Central, but he wanted to go on Netflix, even though Netflix was going to pay him less money. And when Comedy Central threatened, we'll take away your show if you don't do it with us, he was like, but more people will see it on Netflix, which means more people will become my fan, which means I have more autonomy and more people come see me on the road. Right.
Right. He's going for the long-term play as opposed to the short-term play.
He gave the finger to Viacom so that he would get better exposure to a stand-up comedy audience. Right. So then you're talking about that idea of like with Rogan, with the podcast, at what point is the balance worth where you switch from being I am on every platform and everyone can access me anyway to I'm this exclusive thing that you only get if you have this one thing. where's the cost curve for that hit? And my suspicion is that casting that wide net, being able to get to have more and more people come see him do what he cares about the most, which is stand up, I think that's more valuable than whatever dollars like Spotify might throw.
You think stand up is his like I don't know much about this guy beyond his podcast. I didn't even know he did stand up anymore, to be honest. So I'm like, you know, I'm out in left field here with this. But you think that his stand up is still his top priority right now?
Say that one more time.
You think his stand up is like his top priority right now? Because I would think his podcast.
It always has been. It has always been. The podcast pays bills and gets people to see. Like, even if you listen to him talk about it, if Rogan said a million times, if he could do one of the 5 things he does, he would quit everything else and do just stand up. Like,
did not know that.
I mean, that's the big thing for me. If stand up, if it weren't for, I'm not like saying my son kind of derailed stand up or whatever. I'm doing a lot less stand up this year since Clash Royale. Just because I have like this moment right now where I have a lot of doors opening for me in esports that it seems silly not to take advantage of it.
Ooh, you care to dive into that a little bit when you finish your thought?
Yeah, we can jump in there.
Okay, cool.
But if money wasn't the question, I would quit everything else and do stand up all the time. And that's what I did for a decade. But to the point where I was earning some money, but you have a son, you have these big opportunities where like stand up, you don't know what's going to happen. But in esports, like it looks like this could kind of establish my career and my family for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take my foot off the gas for stand up, but I'm never done being a comic. And if I got to the point where money wasn't an issue anymore, I'd only do stand up. I do stand up, and everything else would be for fun. Would be stuff I just want to do. I'd probably still do Clash Royale, but I probably would just like limit it to big stuff. I probably like kind of like how Rogan limits his UFC stuff to just the pay-per-views, that sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Damn. Huh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. So, all right. So then now I'm super intrigued because you said you got opportunities coming up in esports, which my ears perk up as soon as I hear the word opportunity in esports in the same sentence, even if it's just being happy for you. So sure. I don't know how much you could say if there's like NDLs or, you know, like whatever. I don't know what's going on here, but just like, give me the rundown.
I'm trying to say like what I can and can't say. There are definitely like more jobs opening up to me. Like I've landed a few other jobs. Other companies wanted to do Clash Royale and non-Clash Royale stuff. Mm-hmm. Some things I can't talk about, but like major developers that I might be moving into being a caster in some of their products. And
you're talking like outside of Supercell, you mean?
Outside of Supercell, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like, yeah, I work with a couple of their production companies as well. But the other thing is that now, between my breadth of experience in stand-up, in writing, in esports now, I have a good amount of experience and knowledge that people are taking meetings from me at a different level than they were like as a stand-up, right? Like as a stand-up, it can be hard to get a club owner from Tucson, Arizona to reply to your email about being the opener for a weekend. But yeah. I'm at a point where like CEOs of companies will take my message and be like, oh yeah, you know, I will sit down and have coffee with you and talk about this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got some experience under your belt. That's for sure.
Say what?
I said you got some serious experience under your belt just with the CRL alone. CRL is your biggest thing, right? Like that's your biggest badge on the resume, I guess.
I guess you could say that. It's probably the most high profile for sure.
Okay, just like quick little for context, like how many people when you were casting like at the peak viewership or like whatever, how many people, like if you go for an interview or something, how you could say I casted in front of 100,000 people doing CRL, like what's the number, or like what's that fact that, you know,
for what, for MMA? Sorry, you cut out a little bit because Discord
for CRL, like when you know on your resume that's like the top thing, right? So what's like the number? Like I casted in front of 100,000 people live for this main World finals event, like
World Finals in all languages. We were at and
say that again, cut out.
For all languages, we were at 1 million concurrents for World Finals last year, and in English we held it around 140 to 160 for 8 hours straight, which I was pretty proud of.
And you were doing all those 8 hours of coverage?
Yeah, I mean, I took 2 5-minute breaks for the bathroom. Ash was nice enough Ash was there and he would step in between matches and kind of like banter with us and give us little bathroom breaks. But yeah, other than 2 5-minute bathroom breaks, I was on air for 8 hours.
Damn.
But and then the VOD for that has like 3.5 million views. So that's probably the biggest thing, or the most, probably the most viewership on one thing.
That's quite the eye opener. God damn. So people see that, and then obviously they're like, you have experience, you got the credibility, you know, like I don't see why anyone wouldn't sign you. So then it's just a matter of, can you fulfill the role that they want, you know, because obviously, like you said, that you're really good at play-by-play, like that's your strong point. So then it depends if are they looking for play-by-play, you know, those are the only factors left.
That's the better job for me, right? Because play-by-play, you don't have to be an expert in the game, you have to be a good broadcaster, and then
right, you have to be good at like talking,
set up someone who knows the game in and out. So like if you tomorrow, if you said like, hey, I need you to be a play-by-play caster for Super Smash Brothers in a month, I could get coherent enough in a month if you put me with a guy who's like a former pro expert in the game, where I could just tee them up and you wouldn't know the difference. You'd be like, oh, this is beautiful, because I'm good at that job. The job of teeing up of telling what the story is, framing the discussion, and teeing up the expert to like go for the deep dive.
Right. See, I wish I had that, because like obviously you talk, you don't say like very much, you like your communications is just on point at all times. You could just like, you're on your feet, you know, you got to think quick, you don't say you don't stutter. It's, God, I wish I had that, because my brain moves faster than my mouth half the time. So it's like, I envy that. It's basically what I'm getting at. That's a skill that I got to work at for sure. And obviously, I'm guessing that just comes with time, right? It's just, you know, doing it over and over and over. I mean,
like, I was a competitive debater in high school. I've been a stand-up comic for 10 years. I taught the LSAT in classroom for 7. Like, I did play-by-play for MMA. Like, I've just always been an extemporaneous speaker. And a lot of it is just, some of it is knowing that a moment of silence is okay. You can let the silence hit for a second to cue up what you have next. And some of it is just having a good, I guess you might want to say it, like a buffer, where, you know, you're kind of able to line up the next thing. And some of it's also just not worrying about it. Just talk. Just say the things that you're thinking about, and don't sit there and overthink it, or you're going to start stumbling.
Right. That makes 100%. That's what I do. I mean, especially as a streamer, I'm basically talking to myself for 3, 4, you know, however long the stream is. You know, obviously it's the chat, but like, there's nobody else physical like voices, so you're literally just talking to yourself. And when I go to talk to my chat, half the time I'll read a message that's replying to something I said 30 seconds ago, and I don't even remember what the hell I said, because I'm just talking and just talking. So I don't even know if it's coherent. But I mean, I don't know, I keep people around long enough, so I'm thinking that I'm doing an okay job. But I totally get what you're saying. Just talk, forehead. Yeah, I get it. That's lit. So okay, so anyways, so these opportunities that you got coming up, is that gonna like pull away from the Clash Royale scene? Or you said that some of them are like, even still within Clash.
Some of them are within Clash Royale. I mean, Supercell already knows that like I'm committed to CRL. Right. You know, I love doing. Look, the reality is I'm a 3-year player who's been on CRL playing Clash Royale pretty much since launch. I was a casual for like 2 years of that, like a super casual. But like I love the game, and I love casting, and I love the community that I get to be a part of. But also, like, what it would mean is in the off season, I probably wouldn't be as dialed in on Clash Royale as I am. But there are certain things I can't talk about, where like the next season for CRL is going to happen in 2020, most likely in the spring. And I might be doing some other Clash Royale stuff in the first quarter that's not related to CRL directly. So that's like as much as I can say about that. But then the other part of it is that I want to move into production. I want to move into actually be owning a production company and making events and content from that side rather than the talent side, because that's something that's much more sustainable in a lot of ways than being a caster. Right. And when you have a company that can create product, you're not beholden to someone else's whim of whether or not you work that week. And those opportunities are opening to me too, because of the experience I have and now the credibility that I have.
Damn. All right. Well, power moves coming from your end. It sounds like. Jesus Christ.
I'm not playing around, son.
Yeah, taking over the world here. Rich Slaton, watch out, ladies and germs. If you haven't heard of him, you will soon. God damn. I gotta watch out, man. Clear the train tracks. Freight train coming through.
Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna change the thing on my internet here and see if that improves our audio situation at all. This is gonna take 15 seconds.
All good. I'll put up with the chat. Okay, chat.
Hey, chat. You can still hear me. I'll be over here off camera doing something. Oh, there goes my light. Hold on. Let's see if this works, or if this crashes everything.
So what are you doing? Just like moving a plug around?
Well, my computer's been on Wi-Fi, and I grabbed the hard wire.
Wait, why don't you just leave it plugged in all the time if it's like right there?
Because it plugs in. Are you still there?
Yeah, but your camera froze. But I mean, I can still hear you.
Yeah, hold on. Is my camera unfrozen?
No, it's not. But you're frozen in like a very appealing frame, so don't worry. It's not some crazy face or anything. It's
Hold on. I'm gonna relaunch the whereby. Join.
Let in. Oh, now we got a third.
Am I back?
Yeah, hang on. Okay, we're good.
Do it.
Okay.
This should be better now. Yeah. No. The hardwire is plugged into my PlayStation because I'm grinding Apex right now. So Apex is what I do when I'm not doing Clash Royale.
I looked at you as a PC gamer for sure.
I was, but I'm at just like I got a PlayStation to play with some of my comedy buddies, and also I'm a Mac guy, so a lot of the games aren't there for Mac. Like there's no Apex for Mac, so. And Apex is, it's basically like all I play is CR and Apex. That's pretty much it.
Damn, okay. Man, I don't know many people that play Apex anymore. Yeah?
Dude, it's like...
You better at Apex or CR?
I'm probably about the same on both. I'm better than the average player, but I'm, like, you compare to, like, real hardcores, and I'm trash.
Right, okay. I mean, that's kind of how it is for most PS4 players, like, console players. You usually don't see too many like elite console players. It's usually pretty limited to keyboard and mouse, as far as like the best of the best go. Although even the crazy controller players, they usually play on a PC and just plug their controller in. You know what I mean? Because those guys are like hardcore because they got to get the max frame rate and high end graphics. 4K, like crazy shit. So nothing against console gamers, but
there's some pretty murderous PlayStation players who are out there, but yeah, like I'm a 6K player in Clash Royale. I'm better than most, but I'm not like a killer. And sort of same thing in Apex. Like I can drop 2,000 damage and 7 or 9 kills, but I'm not putting out 20 bombs.
Damn. Okay, I don't know much about Apex, dude. Apex when it first came out, it was hilarious because, dude, people just love to like cheer for shit that. Like, when Apex first came out, everyone was cheering, like, oh, it's the Fortnite killer. This is the next game. Like, blah, 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 blah. And everyone was rooting for Fortnite to die. And now it's like, Apex is, kind of, not doing as great as it once was. And now everyone's like, oh, yeah, Apex is going down. Apex has got to die. It's like the same people. It's hilarious. People just love to, like, cheer on shit.
Yeah, they do. No, Apex, Apex takes, like, it's like Fortnite for adults. There's no building, but it's faster and different kind of movement, and it's not boring like PUBG because PUBG is boring. Bro.
I've never played PUBG, but everyone says that the maps are like, isn't the map just like the actual size of the planet? So it takes like a half hour to find somebody.
Dude, PUBG is just boring. It's so slow, and yeah, it's way too big. But yeah, no, Apex
I've never played it. I've never done Apex either. I think I'd like it because it's fast paced, and I like fast paced games. But I mean, I don't know. I also like Fortnite, so I don't think it's like you have to like one or the other. You could probably like both, but
no, audio is still trash.
What did I cut out there?
Yeah, you're still cutting out a bunch, but we'll figure it out.
Fuck! All right, I think I have to get Discord Premium or Nitro or something like that. I don't know. We're on US Central servers because that's right in the middle of us. So that's kind of what. Anywho. If Discord doesn't suck an ass. Okay. I had something now, and then technical issues got the best of me.
I don't know, man. What are you? I mean, what's with your? You keep that Christmas tree on all the time, or is that just your holiday?
No, this is just for show. This is purely for show because I like to improve. I like to take because when I stream, the gameplay is not the reason the people are there. Okay, that's very clear. I think I don't think I try and hide that. So I gotta compensate for the lack of high skill gameplay with other things like visuals. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, I have a beautiful small Christmas tree behind me with a purple Philips Hue light illuminating the background. So it's absolutely wonderful. I guess you have to go check out the YouTube video and leave a like while you're there too now. So that way
snap!
Yeah, see, sly. Yeah, I'm sly with the plugs. That's right.
I think they're just here for your deep voice, bro. That's why I'm here. I didn't want to. I just only reason I'm doing this whole conversation is just I'm like I just want to hear Rozay's deep voice for like a good hour.
I think that I should do ASMR. I think I would be very good at ASMR. Maybe I should try. Okay, do you know what how familiar are you with ASMR?
Can you tell me what the acronym means, and I'll tell you how familiar.
Okay. It's like when people like you put on like headphones and like people do like they'll like rub the microphone and like do things and they'll like whisper and it's supposed to like put you to sleep or like make your spine tingle, or it's kind of like
That's super
it's like
creepy.
auditory. It stands for like auditory stimulus, something like that.
Dude, that is the creepiest thing I've heard, and that's hilarious. Yeah, you should do that.
So it would be something like this. It would be like, hello everybody. Today we're gonna relax, and you're gonna get chills up your spine.
Oh boy,
and all is gonna be well. Just breathe.
I'm actually more uncomfortable than anything. Hold on, let me try.
Hey, some people. Yeah, go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Like you're doing like the late night R&B call-in show from like the 1990s, right? Like, hi, this is your boy Rozay. You listen to Smooth Jams on KSFM 102.5. This is In Between the Sheets, bringing you the best of Boys to Men, some Luther Vandross, and other stuff that's going to get you ready for that evening.
See, that was pretty good. That wasn't ASMR, that was radio, but but yes, I mean,
that's
I was probably too close to my mic too. It's supposed to be like super quiet, and it's supposed to like, I don't know, some people like, I don't know, I think there's like a gland or like a nerve, or like some people it really resonates with, and other people, not like me and you, is just like, all right, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Why am I listening to this person whisper in my ear and rub a Q-tip on the microphone? It's not doing it for me, okay? And they have like directional microphones, so they'll like go around with their fingers, and you can like, it sounds like it's circling your head. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't do it, but it's like, there's a category for it on Twitch, and YouTube videos get like millions of views for this shit. What? I don't understand it. Look into it when you have you have to use headphones, though. It doesn't make sense without headphones. But yeah, so
you sneak creepy stuff in there too. You're like, all right, now we're falling asleep. Pretty good. I'm touching your feet. Does that feel weird to you at all? You're totally asleep. What? I couldn't say anything about your feet, man. Your feet are totally fine.
I could see you through the window. You look good. Your eyes are almost asleep. Watching you. Yep. Yeah, so that's what I think that if this whole Clash Royale thing goes down the shitter, I'll just go to ASMR. Either that, or I'll just be a cam boy and just, I don't know, do like nude shows or something. Who knows?
Yeah, you seem young enough.
Yeah, I get like an OnlyFans account and $100 per month premium. You get pictures of my toes and shit.
You're trim. You're slim. You have sharp features.
Trim and slim.
Yeah, you just tighten the beard line a little bit.
Like that.
Bring the keep the hair, like get a cut every week and a half or so.
Always.
And I think you have a future. You could have a future, man.
I know. See, yeah, I was thinking about redoing my Twitch overlay too to make the webcam a little bigger. Because that's obviously why people are there.
Is your whole overlay?
Yeah, I would get banned. Otherwise, I would just be the shirtless streamer. I was thinking about going a little deep V. Like how the Twitch streamers do, like the chicks in the just chatting section. They'll like back up real far so you can see all their thighs with the shortest booty shorts on of all time, the knee high socks, the shirt that is showing all the amount of cleavage you can without getting banned. As soon as they get a subscriber, they're like, "Oh, thank you so much," and they do this corny shit where they make a heart with their hands, and then they walk to their whiteboard behind them with their ass popped out as far as humanly possible, and their back is arched dangerously, so that way they're gonna have scoliosis permanently if they do it one more time. But then they write your name on the board, and then you feel special, and like half the people in the chat are beaten off. It's just and
Rozay subs to like all these channels, so you can see how well he breaks down.
Not just sub. I'm a tier 3. Okay, I'm a tier 3 on all of these.
Oh shit!
And we cheer bits. And all of the bits I ever get, I cheer those. But I do it anonymously.
I remember one time, like when just chatting streaming just started. And I was like messing around with some other non-Twitch streaming services that were just like straight streaming chatting services. And I remember one time I was fascinated. I just watched a girl say thank you to chat for like 15 minutes. Just for 15 minutes, she was just going like, "Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Oh, Josh, thank you. Michael, oh my God, seriously, thank you." And for 15 minutes, and she had 20,000 live viewers. I was like, this chick's just saying thank you. For 20,000 people. Yeah,
she doesn't even have her own content. Her content is thanking people. Like she just exists and is hot. And
nothing was happening.
I know.
Dude, that's why I don't. This is why I'm not bullish on like esports as its own product in the US. Is because I don't care how good you are at League of Legends or Call of Duty or Clash Royale, you will never compete with a hot chick saying thank you for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
not in America. In America, you think that your silly game is going to compete with a hot chick saying thank you in America? Take a walk, son. You're done.
No shot. Oh my god, yeah, you can't, hot chick, god forbid she have a decent voice too that's like not painful and cringeworthy. Yeah, oh, you get the 1-2 punch, and then if she's, kind of like ditzy too.
I missed all of that, but I'm sure it was hilarious though.
Oh, everything I say is hilarious, but just play along. Yeah, if she's got like a nice voice, she's got the looks obviously, and then god forbid she's a little ditzy too, so she's like kind of flirtatious with the chat, and then all the simps come out of the woodwork, and it's just like,
America, son. God bless America.
No, if I was a chick, I would do the same damn thing. I would have the shortest shorts known to mankind. They would be Amaranth?
No, I don't know. Dude, I don't know things.
Okay, well, she's notorious for basically wearing as little as humanly possible on Twitch and just existing. I think she dances too. I don't know. I've never really hung out in there. I tier 3 obviously, but I don't hang out in there actively. Yeah. That would be me. I would absolutely abuse my feminine powers.
Dude, the one that gets me the most of all those different like cheesy things? You know about Cameo, that app?
Cameo? No,
Cameo is an app where like celebrities say, hey, for like $100, you can get Screech from Saved by the Bell to give like a 30-second birthday message to your best friend. So you go on the app, you hit $100, and you say, hey, say hi to my best friend. Give me a video where you say hi to my best friend Tina and wish her happy 30th birthday. Also, I think like we call each other Bobo, so you can call her Bobo. And then Screech will like do a little selfie where he's like, hi, hey Tina, happy 30th birthday, you Bobo, ha ha ha. Say, and then it's the most whoring out of like, you can totally tell what a celebrity thinks they're worth by like where they put their dollar amount. Mm-hmm. So it's super cheesy, it's super funny, and so like, hey, you want Odell Beckham Jr. to tell your dad like good job on his promotion, you can get it done. And it's the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. And it's all like, it's very few of them are celebrities who are like popping right now. It's all people who are like either just ding dongs who've blasted all their money, or they're on the down rather than the up. But did
you say Drake Bell? Was that your example, or was that just me?
Saved by the Bell.
Okay, yeah, Saved. Well, anyway, that's a good example. Drake Bell, from Drake and Josh, the TV show. He's everyone knows him, but what's he doing now? I'm
going on Cameo right now. We're gonna see if Drake Bell is on Cameo.
Is that his real name? Yeah, Drake Bell. That's his real name. Like, everybody knows who he is, but what's he doing now? We have no idea. So like those kind of people, they probably thrive on that.
Hold on, Drake Bell, musician, actor. Book now for $75. There you go.
For how long?
It's not even how long. He just makes a quick there's no.
I know, but it's like a 30-second video or like do you know what I mean? Like, is there a threshold? Can I ask him to do 10 minutes of ranting? Like, what,
Well, I'm sure like if you ask him for something bigger, it'll probably be more money. But I think the whole idea of it is like, hey, it's a quick little selfie. Doesn't take him any effort. Like, hey, the like 30-second whatever's. Dude, if you can capture this. I could go through this website all day trashing on celebrities for doing this. It's the funniest thing ever. And Drake Bell, you can own Drake Bell for 30 seconds for $75.
Okay. Here, let's just do some calculations on what Drake Bell thinks he's worth. All right, so let's just say you get a minute video from Drake Bell for $75. I'm just doing some math, right? So let's just say a minute video from Drake Bell costs $75. So 75 times 60. So Drake Bell thinks that he's worth $4,500 an hour. That's what he values his time at. I don't, that sounds a little bit high for me, but. Okay, let's just say the website takes a cut.
But he can't pump out one of those. He can't pump it out at that rate, because he has to sit down and open the app and then read it and be like, okay, Tina from Baltimore. Okay, cool. And got it.
I get it. It's just that's an asinine amount of money for 30 seconds. And I get it.
Yeah,
he's Drake Bell.
If you live in, if you're from, and your trashy girlfriend like loves Drake Bell. Now you gotta like, I forgot to get her a birthday present. What can I do? Oh, I can get Drake Bell to tell her that I mean,
at the end of the day, the market decides the price. I get it, but at the same time,
bro,
God,
okay, hold on.
Damn, Drake Bell.
Give me a trashy celebrity, because this is the best thing in the world.
Dude, I don't know. I gave one already. It's your turn. What do you mean? A trash, like a has-been, like someone past their prime, like another one like him.
Give me anyone, has-been, someone who you're like, this person's a joke.
Oh, Christ almighty, dude, I don't consume anything other than Twitch and YouTube, so I have no idea.
I bet you some of those Twitch people are on there.
Oh, Christ almighty, I don't know.
There's no way Ninja's on here. Yep, Ninja
no
is
shot.
Not, what? Oh, yeah, Ninja is not on here because there's no way, because he makes too much money.
Makes way too much money.
There's
and
a guy
he's still
from
like
Ninja
kind of
Warrior
popping.
who do it for $10.
Oh wow.
Lucas Gomez from American Ninja Warrior for $10. He'll wish you happy birthday or whatever.
I think I should get on there, man.
You know what?
I could charge like $5, you know?
Yeah. Here's the thing: is you aren't like a sad kind of celebrity. You're like a dude who streams, and you're like, hey, an extra $10. That's like 2 Subways. Dope. But
Subways? What? I don't think I've ever been on a Subway.
Subway sandwiches.
Oh, sandwiches. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, nobody ever. I never get the $5 footlongs.
Where do you live, by the way?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, I've heard of it.
I would hope so. There you go. See, there's your stand-up comic. It happens naturally and organic. I got it. Okay, chat. Now you understand. But yes, here I am. I don't get the $5 footlong. The $5 footlongs are for pussies. I get the buffalo chicken footlong with an Italian, and we get toasted double meat for $8.
Bro, wow, you're throwing out fighting words. I know a lot of itinerant Hollywood people who live off of $5.
Yeah,
no, they don't have the strength to throw down now because they're so malnourished and unloved.
I'm being very divisive. I'm creating controversy in my audience to stir the pot a little bit. You know.
Hold on. Does the chat have a celebrity that they want us to ruin because they're on Cameo? Because, dude, here's the thing. So there's one of the things about switching over to Clash Royale that's been kind of a detriment, is that Clash Royale is a positive kids game. It's a positivity community. Mm-hmm. I spent 10 years like where my best friends, I would see them and they'd be like, "What's up, idiot?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're still fat." You know, like we just trash each other and trash everything. And
I know.
This universe I'm in is so about positivity.
It's totally like family friendly and no, I get it because like I don't want to like cut you off, like Supercell just announced creator codes for Clash Royale, right? And I saw something, I think it was like a Reddit post or something, that like if you want to be a Supercell partner creator, you can't swear. And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit, there's literally no way. There's no way that I can not swear. So then that means I can't be a creator, I can't get a creator code, I can't get like a developer build if I keep growing big enough. And I'm just like, holy shit. All because I can't, like, I get that your average aid base is like 14, but like, oh, come on, you know, throw me a bone here. Anywho, sorry.
To answer your chat, Charlie Sheen is currently unavailable, but typically sets his price at $550. But currently he's unavailable.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Slow down,
I think Charlie Sheen's worth $550, bro.
Okay. I wouldn't pay $5.
But I'm just saying, if we're doing the market, if the Ninja Warrior guy is $10 and Drake Bell is $75, Charlie Sheen's at least a $550.
All right, yeah, that's fair. I think anyone that buys that shit's out of their fucking mind. But yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of crazies out there that buy this kind of thing. I don't know who. I probably wouldn't buy anybody. I don't know. I'd buy myself. Big ego.
Yeah, I get that. That's Ohio for you, though. People from Ohio, like a lot of humility, hiding, like fake humility, hiding big ego.
Okay, do you have an example? Are you just starting shit? Are you just stirring the pot now, or do you have an example?
No, just like I've met people from Cleveland, from Cincinnati. What's the shitty town that's like what starts with an S that has like a bunch of mobsters in it? Where the hell's Tony from? Tony Hinchcliffe. He's from whatever that town is.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Sandusky?
From Sandusky. Is Sandusky a town? And that's a messed up town.
I don't know. That's where Cedar Point is. That's all. I don't know any other S towns. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anywho,
what the hell?
People are Ohio for great. I'll have you know.
Yeah, well, no, Ohio's salt of the earth people. Who
I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing it's a good thing. Salt of the earth.
Salt of the earth people. It's like, hey, you're like real people who live in America and you do things that matter. Like you contribute physically.
Yes,
you build
the average Joe. Yes. Unlike you, LA people. That's where you're at, right? LA. Yeah,
I live in LA. I live where today's the first day of rain we've had in like 8 months. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have plastic tits like everyone else out there, man.
I've been trying to get them, but they just don't work well on my body. Like, you know, I don't have a good body type for fake ones. So right now I'm trying to like growing my reels, and we'll see where that.
Oh, nice. So what is it, like bulking season? You know, you bulk up a little bit and see where they go.
Yeah, I'm trying to get CWA jacked. That's what I'm trying to do, is reach that like superhero level.
Yeah, just slowly eliminate your neck so that it's all just traps.
Have you ever seen Ash in real life?
No, not in real life, but I just did a podcast with him on Sunday.
Like,
he's so large.
Like you see him on the podcast, you're like, oh yeah, you're like a big, like powerful looking dude. You see him in real life, you're like, are we in a superhero movie? Why are your that's all that, you know what it is? It's all that mailmanning. It's all that lifting stuff, because you see him in real life and you're like, oh my god, I think you could kill Jason Momoa if you guys got into a fight. Like this.
I don't know who that is, but I'm guessing it's a large man.
Aquaman.
Never seen the movie, but I'm assuming he's very large.
What do you do in Cleveland?
Watch Twitch and stream. I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV. I don't watch Netflix. All I do is watch Twitch and watch YouTube. That's all I do. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
Yes, exciting times here in Ohio.
Do you have like a day gig that brings in cash?
An actual job? Yes. J Omega LB. Yes. I'm in. Oh God.
I don't catch remember. That because Discord is dinking.
Yes, I work in the intelligence field. I can't really elaborate too far. Intelligence field. Yes. So I can't, I can't openly spew everything.
Well, you can't be that. You can't be working like that high up if they're letting you Twitch all day, or they'd be like locking you down.
No, I'm not like a spy. But I mean,
that'd be dope if this was your cover, though. If your cover was just like some dude who says shit,
hiding in plain sight, man. You're the guy that's supposed to be undercover is putting himself on the internet for hours on end every day.
This is how you spy on the Chinese. Is like you just mess around with streaming to a CR.
It's a long-term plan. I'm practicing here, and then I'm going to start streaming on the Chinese platforms and slowly infiltrate the country.
So are you okay? Let me ask you this question: are you like in person? Is that the kind of stuff that you do?
Okay, Discord just cut out as soon as you said "are you," and then it cut out.
Okay, so I have a friend of mine who he and his wife.
Oh my god, it cut out again. I'm literally I'm walking to Discord headquarters. I'm gonna never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, are you? I have a couple friends who have like high level clearance because they're math people. Like they work on the kind of stuff where like they only have a piece of code. They don't even know what they're working on. That kind of stuff.
That's not me. I don't do the math or the codes. I don't do that. That's no. My brain doesn't think that way.
I'm very curious. Hold on. So, did you go to? I'm interviewing you now. Did you go to university? Nope. I got nothing. This is the best content, bro.
Dude. Okay. Fuck Discord. All right. Next. All right. Fuck it. Here. Turn on your mic in Appearin and turn it off in Discord. Or
Let's see how that works.
Whereby? Sorry.
I'm turning my mic off in Discord.
Okay. I'm on.
On and whereby.
Okay, we're here. Let's see if this works.
Is the mic still active in like your recording? Can you hear it? Or is it?
Yeah, no, we're good. So I was told that the Discord audio quality is better, but
I can hear the Discord audio quality is better. But if this is more reliable, go with what's reliable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. See what happens.
So you went to college?
Anywho's, yes, Mercyhurst University in Erie, Pennsylvania. Graduated with a bachelor's in intelligence studies and a minor in Arabic and Islamic studies. So that led into an intelligence job career path.
Do you work for like the OTI?
What is that?
Which branch of? Can you say what branch of intelligence you're employed with?
Who said that I was government?
Oh, interesting. Oh,
I can neither confirm nor deny any of your questions.
You're the new WikiLeaks, bro. Launched right here, right now. Rozay is cracking open Clash Royale.
All the dirty secrets are hidden in my pockets.
He's going to tell you exactly why everything. Like he's going to expose the algorithms. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, when I was in college, a CIA recruiter came to my school because I was studying stuff that was not dissimilar to you. And for a long time, I planned on a career in the CIA, and then realized I'd rather tell dick jokes. And
then travel across the globe and try and collect intelligence from dangerous individuals. Yes, that makes sense to me. I can totally understand that. Yeah. So wait, so what can you say? What were you studying that was similar?
I was studying long story, essentially like modern Middle Eastern politics and socioeconomics. And I was taking Hebrew rather than Arabic, but I was planning on Arabic next. But yeah, I was planning on going to the Office of Transnational Issues for the CIA and becoming like an expert. I was already like pretty well schooled on. Someone actually came out with a paper recently that kind of expanded on a theory that like put into application a theory that I wrote on back in like 2005, but that you could look at certain inputs and predict when and where a regime change would occur in the Middle East based on
like an algorithm that would just kind of predict it. Based on current circumstances?
Within reasonable like margin of error, could predict when and where there might be a major regime change, or at least an uprising or revolution, and whether it would be Islamist or secular in the Middle East or North Africa. And then someone went and did that same thing from Hold on, they're trying to put my baby down for a nap. Let me put my headphones on so that we're not bothering baby boy Slaton anymore.
Oh, all good. Okay, we'll take this time. Chat, if you guys have any questions for me or Rich, start throwing in the chat right now. If you guys are listening to this recording after the fact on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, just so you're aware, I record all of these live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rozay. So if you want to ask us questions, that's the place to do it when I record them live. So chat, any questions, go ahead. If there's any good ones, we'll try and pull them. Unless you guys are being a bunch of boneheads, then I'm going to ignore you guys blatantly. So, anywho, you got the headphones on now, looking good. So what were we saying? I don't even remember.
We were talking about, I'm going to be a little bit quieter now because baby boy Slaton's going to sleep. We're talking about the whole like predicting like uprisings and revolutions in North Africa and the Middle East.
Okay, are you using the mic on your headset or is it still the other one?
I don't know, actually. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure it's still the original one. If it is, just move it closer to your mouth. So I'm trying to keep it at the same volume it was.
How about that? How's that doing?
That looks good to me.
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool. But yes, so you studied Hebrew, and I'm guessing you don't remember any of it now. Okay, so that means I remember nothing. You're right. Got it.
It means I don't remember everything that I learned, but close enough.
Oh, you totally looked that up because that's a key line that you have to say. Like, okay, so honestly, if we dropped you in the middle of Israel, would you be able to like get out?
I mean, yeah, but not because my Hebrew is amazing, but because I know enough Hebrew to like get around, and Israelis are pretty good at English usually.
Interesting. Okay.
And I've been to Israel a few times already, so.
Juicy, because that's all the way. That's like how I gauge things. Because everyone's like, I'm okay, or, I'm good at the language or whatever. I'm just like, all right, if I dropped you in the middle of this country and you didn't know anybody and you had no money, could you communicate enough with no English to get yourself home? And a lot of times people are like, shit, probably not.
Yeah, I could.
Damn. Okay.
But it would be like as bad as you think. Like take I don't know what your level of Arabic is, but like I don't know, it would be blatantly obvious how I do not know enough Hebrew, but I'd be able to, like, between my Hebrew and gestures get it done.
Okay, fair enough. I took 4 semesters of it, so 2 years. So in theory, I surpassed intermediate 2, which is the next stage would have been advanced. So I mean, pretty decent, but at the same time, I've been out of school now for a few years, so I'm rusty as all hell. So it would take a little while to get back into the swing of things.
All right. I got another just I got another like 10-15 minutes before I gotta piece take care of the baby boy. Okay, cool. Well, all right, we'll wrap it up here. Let me okay, so this is we're recording this on Wednesday, December 4th. The CRL World Finals are on what day? The 8th? The 7th. Saturday the 7th.
7th? Okay, so 3 days away. I fly out tomorrow. But I'm going to try and post this podcast on the 5th. So the point of all of that is this is getting put out before the CRL World Finals. So if you're listening to this after, you're behind. Get with the times. Come on, figure it out. So anywho, I don't know if you're allowed. Can you give like your personal opinions on CRL, like predictions and like hot takes and that kind of thing, or do you have to stay neutral?
I don't know what there's a rule. I mean, there's like my own sort of like professionalism to it, but there's no like rule about what I can and can't do like in that regard. I can tell you like what I think about. I can tell you some of the things that are interesting me right now.
I just want to see like what's interesting you right now, and then like who you think's gonna win and like that kind of thing, and then we'll revisit it afterwards and see how we did.
I mean, the 2 favorites, not just because of seeding, but because of who the teams are, in my opinion, are SK and Fav. I think that people might underestimate Fav gaming. A lot of the common brackets have Liquid beating OG and Entis, Nova beating WDGM. And then both those teams losing in semis and the finals being SK and Fab Gaming. And I think, on paper, that seems like a pretty good call to make. Liquid without Surgical Goblin is still talented, but Igor's never played and has never played live in CRL. I don't know if he's played live at all before. He's an amazing ladder player, but your first time playing live, being in front of 1,200 people and being streamed worldwide, that's a lot of pressure. And you can't You can't put a price tag on how valuable Surgical Goblin is.
So do you think that without okay, so chat, for those of you guys that don't know, that if you don't keep up with this, Surgical Goblin, who is a large, I think he's got like 750,000 YouTubers. He's a team captain for Team Liquid, in the conversation for one of the greatest players in the game's history, at least. He has visa problems. Where's he from? Like Germany, I think he's from.
Netherlands.
He's from the Netherlands. He had visa problems, so he's not going to be able to attend the World Finals. So Team Liquid is without their team captain. Basically. So, okay. So do you think that alone changes, like do you think that Liquid could recover? Obviously they're not going to be as strong, but like
it's a massive hit because of a couple reasons. One of them is Surgical Goblin is amazing and he's playing some of his best Clash Royale of his career right now. Number two, the format for World Finals has 1v1 as the second set rather than King of the Hill. So what that means now is that either Igor gets put in 2v2, which is not going to happen, or it's Diego and Canario for 2v2, and Igor, who's a great ladder player, but who does not have the experience on the live stage, makes his CRL live experience debut at World Finals in a 1v1 best of 3, right? Like, that's an insane amount of pressure. And we'll talk about it more like on the actual broadcast, but he looked a little bit uncomfortable at the seeding tournament. He was like a little bit, he was clearly different than his normal comfort zone. Now, whether he can fix that for Saturday is a different question, but like he did not look like he was like totally in his element, which might just be for, hopefully maybe that got his first time jitters out, but we won't know until Saturday.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, because when I went to TwitchCon a few months ago, I played in the Twitch Rivals event, which was like a live Fortnite event in front of 1,000 people and streamed in front of 30,000. And the nerves are a real thing. Like, it's, I streamed, so it wasn't like too bad. I wasn't like shaking, but like the cameras are panning around you and the lights, and then someone gets a kill and the crowd erupts, and you're just look at like my teammate. He died one time because we were on the main live stream, and the crowd erupted when one of us got a kill, and he turned around to see if we were on the big screen. And that's when he died. So like, it changes things. Like, it's real. It's people when you're in your seats and your comfortable couch at home, you're like, just play the game, tune the stuff out. But let me tell you, even we had the big headphones on. They're like nice Razer headphones. You still hear everything. They're not soundproof by any means. You still hear everything that's going on out there. So I totally just derailed the conversation. I apologize.
Doesn't matter. That's what conversations do. Is they derail. It's great.
Yeah. Okay. So where were we at before? Because there was a point that I wanted to jump back to.
Yeah. Like, so Liquid versus OG and Entis. OG and Entis has got a legit team. TNT's a legit player. They can put it together. Thunder and One Crown, like those two together, like One Crown's turnaround in 2v2 over this season compared to his previous seasons has completely changed like their whole team and their outlook. You have to beat Diego and Canario, and then if Igor plays the way Igor plays on ladder, now you're in a lot of trouble. The question is just, will he do that? That's the big question. But then on that side of the bracket, you have SK Gaming, which might be the greatest. Like they right now look like the greatest team assembled. Morten
in CRL history, or just this year?
Yeah, in CRL, like if you look at like the level of power they have, like Morten has been, in my opinion, an MVP for 3 years running. Morten's one of the best players in CRL, hands down. He gets overlooked a bit because he's a 2v2 specialist, but he also kills it in head-to-head play. And then you add in the fact that he and Sam are great together, and Sam's like a mad scientist genius. You add in Sergio Ramos, who still like will beat anybody on any day. And then you add in Javi Catorze, who is literally better. Like he is the best competitive player I've ever seen. Like in terms of actually playing the competitive format, he I think I said on one broadcast, it's his game where the rest of us are just playing it. He's amazing. Damn.
That's some premium gas right there. I don't know if you can gas anybody up harder than that. That's like,
he's a madman. He's a madman. He's a brilliant player and a total madman. They're the team to beat. Now on the other side of that, Nova, like Elsiop, is an all-time god, best player in the history of China, and easily top 3 all-time in terms of competitive play. Whatchamacallit, like Little Chen is great. He's a great player, and Nova, like they find ways to win. I think I'm kind of counting WEDGM could surprise people, but I don't think they will. The big thing for me on that other side of the bracket is Fav Gaming, dude. Like Jack is playing like a legend. He played like a legend at the seeding tournament. He played like a legend the last season in CRL Asia. And then people overlook their 2v2. Kensu Meshi is the CRL Asia version of Morten. He's a 2v2 specialist who can crack in 1v1. So like I think that Kenzie Meshi and Jack together. And then of course you have Kitashian and Danny who can both do it too. But like Kenzie Meshi and Jack, put those two guys together, like that's a team that can beat anybody on any day.
So Jack, he's primarily known for 2.6 Hog. I'm guessing he's like I said earlier. I don't watch CRL that extensively. I'm familiar with it, but I don't keep up with it or actively watch it just because like last year it was like streamed at weird times and they didn't like promote it as much as like I don't know. I wasn't like aware when the matches were happening. It was I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Didn't work with my schedule. So I'm not as in tune with I'm sure as you or some of the listeners. But to me, Jack is most popularly known as the Hog 2.6 guy that could beat anybody with Hog 2.6, and I'm guessing that he has since expanded his arsenal of he's more well-rounded now than before.
Yeah, he went 4-1 at the combine over it was 5 best of 3 sets. He went 4-1. Didn't play 2.6 once. Played some Hog EQ and then played some other stuff. If you go to Stats Royale and take a look at the deck information, like what he played, there was one deck he played like a giant skeleton Royal Hogs EQ Magic Archer deck that was nutty, and he clapped people with it. It was super fun. He's an insanely creative player, and he's a total like reaction reflex player. So any deck that like cycles quickly, he's going to be able. He will always have the opportunity to outplay you if you give him an opening. So that's what he's good at.
So he prefers cycle decks, right? That's exactly how I am. I'm nowhere near as good as him, but like I don't beatdown decks drive me up a fucking wall because like especially now with the current meta where there's golem everywhere and then people use the battle healer after that and it's literally just brainless. Like you just put the golem on the back and then stack shit behind it and then just 3 crown the. Oh god, it drives me up a wall because I like to pretend that I have some degree of skill, right? So I like to like cycle, always doing shit like positive elixir trades. This guy just played 3 elixirs, so I'm trying to play 2 as opposed to. Like in my humble and totally unqualified opinion, Golem Beatdown is the least strategic deck in the game, just because the entire strategy is don't play defense and just stack shit behind the Golem, right? So I can't relate to that.
If you're bad, that's a strategy. I would say go back and watch what Royal did with Golem and see if it's one of CRL. And like a good Golem player, a great Golem player, that's not how you play Golem. Idiots who play at like 5K to 6K, yeah, they do that all the time, and they get like wins based on starting hand and stuff like that. But like some of the stuff that I saw Royal do playing Golem in season 1, you're like, my god, that's insane.
Yeah, I'm not in I'm in that 5 to 6K range. Well, I'm slightly above, getting better day by day. But yes, those are the people that I see. I see those Golem idiots that don't know what they're doing and just stack shit and it drives me up a wall. So I'm biased. I'm extremely biased. I'll be the first to admit that. But that is my hot take that has to stir the pot here a little bit as we wind down here because I just remembered that we gotta wrap it up. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. Okay, so just final words. Go on record. Who is your personal opinion, separate from your casting? Personal opinion. Who you think's taking the crown?
God, I mean that's a hard one. It's going to be really hard to beat SK. But I would give SK like a 60-40 chance at winning it all right now.
Oh, who's the 40?
I mean, SK doesn't want to play Liquid because the format is really nasty. Like that 1v1 being set number 2, it's a little challenging. If Surgical Goblin was here, this would be a very different conversation possibly. But whoever makes it in, if Fav Gaming makes it to the finals, I think they have a really, really great shot. If Nova makes it to the finals, I think that drops down to like 30%, just because of the stress of playing 3 matches in a row.
Okay. All right. So you got SK taking the cake.
I give him 60-40. That's what I give him.
Okay. So if you had to pick someone, okay, so it's SK. Got it. Okay. So who do you think is the worst, has the lowest percentage, respectively, has the lowest percentage of winning?
I think because of matchups, I think WEDGM has the hardest road to the
That's
finals.
what I'm rooting for. WEDGM. Let's get it, baby. What is it? WEDGM?
WEDGM. Look, and they're a legit team. Like Hire's legit. Solo Man's legit. Like they can definitely play. They can play well. A lot of people think that China is the worst region out of the 3 regions. WEDGM had a lot of trouble at the World Cyber Games. Like they did not perform well at World Cyber Games, and I think that for them to beat Nova and beat Fav Gaming, I don't know if I see that happening. Could it happen? And that's why we're gonna watch. I mean, that's a fight's a fight, you know. Like it could happen,
right?
But I think they have the most difficult road to get there. In terms of matchup specific, like OG and Entis has to go through Liquid and SK Gaming, but I think that matchup wise, it's harder for WDGM than it is for OG and Entis in terms of like the way the teams actually match up against each other.
Okay, yeah, see, I like to root for the underdog. I think it's more fun. I'm actually technically a content creator for Nova, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, you know, I'm gonna root for whoever the hell I want. Obviously, you know, part of me wants Nova to win just because, but you know, I'm not so deeply ingrained in Nova where like I have to, you know, it's not that deep of a relationship. So I'm rooting for whoever the underdog is each match, and I'm gonna be the rowdy guy in the crowd. Do you know if I'm allowed to bring a Vuvuzuela or will I get kicked out?
Oh my God, please don't.
Can I bring one of those twirly things like the New Year's? Can I want to make a ruckus. So I want my presence to be known.
I don't know what the word, dude. Well, there'll be some ruckus because Andrew and I, our voices are in the room for this event, so you'll be.
Right, they'll be coming over the speakers. You mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be pretty rad.
Interesting. Okay, so where's the best place to sit? Is it front row or should I get like the upper deck? Is there an upper deck?
I haven't seen the actual setup yet. Okay. Because I go in on Friday for rehearsals, and I'll know what it looks like then.
Interesting. Okay, someone in the chat's telling me to bring a tuba, which I don't know if I can get past security. I can't really hide that one. A Vuvuzuela, you can kind of stuff in your pants and pretend it's a third leg kind of thing. So I don't know if I can bring a tuba, but I'll see what I can do. I'm gonna try and do my best to make a scene without getting kicked out. So there's a thin line there. I don't know who I'm rooting for. I don't know the first thing about CRL. I don't know who's good, who's bad. So it's going to be interesting. And basically, I'm just going to be a react guy that if a big play happens, I'm going to be the guy that shouts.
From what I saw at the seeding tournament, it's going to be super hype. Like the play was already really, really good. I think the play is going to get better and better. Yeah, like the only person missing from this to make it the greatest it could be is Surgical Goblin. Other than that, like the level of talent at this World Finals is astronomical. Completely like out through the roof.
Interesting. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be fucking lit. I've never been to, you know, like I said, I've never watched much CRL, so this is gonna be like a lot of CRL that I'm watching, and it's gonna be live, so it's gonna be like super high octane. Oh my god, I'm very excited. I'm sure you are. Do you think? Have you ever been like heckled, like while you're casting?
While I'm casting, no. I mean, I've been a stand-up for 10 years, so I've been heckled plenty on stage, but not while I'm casting. I won't be able to hear you because I'll have my headphones on and stuff like that. So if someone heckles me, like I won't know anything.
What if that heckler has a Vuvuzuela?
I'm gonna have to drop my headphones, come into the stands, son. I'm gonna pull a Ron Art.
Okay, you know, I'm just asking for a friend. You know, this is all hypotheticals. I would never try and distract you. Your job to ruin you or throw you off. I would never do such a thing. But you never know. You know, someone might. Who knows? Just put it out there. All right. So if you hear a out of the corner of your ear, just, you know, don't automatically snap to me, but you know, I might be in the conversation for. I'm
gonna bring ball bearings so I can fling them at you.
Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
Yeah.
We'll get you fired now? Right before?
Oh my god! It's a promise.
Oh Christ! All right, I'm sweating. All right, we got to get out of here before I shit myself. All right, Rich. We've gone over our hour.
Dude.
I know you got a whole lot of things to do to prepare for the big event here in a few days. So I just want to say I appreciate you taking some time out of your very, very busy day here to chat it up, shoot the shit with me. This was fun. Like I said, there was no script. We kind of just jumped around, but that's the way I like it. So
anytime you want to do it, I'm more than happy we can talk some shit.
Yeah, what I think would be super cool is I want to get Andrew Guy on here too. For those of you guys who don't know, he's the counterpart to Rich here. They both handle the CRL casting. So I want to get Andrew on here for an episode. I think he'd be down, and then I think it'd be super cool after that to get both of you guys on here at the same time, so we can have a party of 3 and really shoot the shit.
Oh, 100.
So if you're down for that sometime in the future, I'm sure that's probably a month, 2-3 months down the road, you know, so we got a ways for that, but figured I'd just pitch it because I think it's a cool idea, because I know you guys are the dynamic duo, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, so if you're down for that, we'll revisit that at a later date. Yeah, but anytime. Otherwise, let's wrap it up here before I ramble for another 10 minutes. Okay, at RichSlaton, I think that's your handle on everything? On everything, at RichSlaton, RichSlaton, Twitter, Instagram, your mom's house, whatever it is, at RichSlaton. Damn, this man's everywhere. Holy shit, even in the places you don't want him. All right, Rich, thanks again for coming, and I I appreciate it. I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.